Part 1. The Calm Before the Storm. I used to think my life was perfect, or at least close enough to it that I never questioned it. Every morning, sunlight would slice through the blinds and scatter across the tiles of our kitchen, and she'd be humming a tune I didn't know the name of, but one I had grown to love. Coffee brewing, black with just a touch of cream, the smell drifting to my room and pulling me out of sleep. I would lie there for a few moments, listening to her small, familiar movements, the clink of a spoon against a mug, the soft swish of the fridge door. I thought this was happiness. I thought stability was the same as love. I didn't notice the subtle cracks yet, the tiny inconsistencies that whispered their presence. Her laughter on the phone sometimes a little too high, too playful, and she would hang up abruptly when I entered the room. The way she lingered in the bathroom a few minutes longer than usual. I dismissed it all, telling myself I was overthinking, that love didn't require suspicion. Our life was ordinary but safe, predictable but comforting, and I wrapped myself in it like a blanket, ignoring the faint shivers beneath. Part 2. The routine evenings were our sacred time. She'd cook, I'd pour wine, and we'd eat together. I thought I was attentive. I nodded, asked small questions, but in truth, my mind often wandered. Work, emails, deadlines, the invisible weight of stress. I assumed she was content, that she shared my satisfaction in the mundane. But there were cracks I failed to see, a subtle hesitation before answering, a phone left face down, the occasional sigh that didn't belong to fatigue. I ignored them because it was easier than looking closer. We had rhythms, small rituals that I took for granted, the Sunday market where she'd pick fresh flowers, the Saturday movies we'd half watch while scrolling on our phones, the quiet moments in bed before sleep. I thought love was built on these routines, on comfort and predictability. I never questioned if there was something missing. Part 3. Subtle Hints. It started with almost imperceptible changes. She became guarded with her phone, texts sent with a barely restrained smile, whispers into the receiver, disappearing to another room without explanation. I noticed, of course, but I didn't confront it. I told myself, she's stressed. Everyone needs space sometimes. And yet a small nagging unease started to grow inside me. A knot in my stomach, a prickle at the back of my neck that I couldn't shake. My mind whispered questions I didn't dare voice aloud. And still, I told myself it was paranoia. I clung to the comfort of ignorance because acknowledging the possibility of betrayal was too frightening. To look deeper was to risk everything, and so I stayed in my cocoon, pretending that everything was fine. Part 4. Discovery. The truth revealed itself one night, sudden and merciless. I was looking for a work document on her laptop, a mundane excuse to distract myself from insomnia, and found the messages. At first, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The screen glowed with names and words that weren't meant for me. Flirtatious jokes, intimate nicknames, late-night meetups. My chest tightened, my vision blurred, and a hot, bitter taste filled my mouth. I stared at the screen, shaking, unable to breathe. The room felt unreal, spinning slightly as if the walls themselves had betrayed me. Every memory we shared, every moment I had trusted, suddenly felt like a lie. How could I have been so blind? Part 5. Denial. I wanted to convince myself it was a mistake. Maybe it wasn't real. Maybe she was joking. Maybe my interpretation was wrong. My mind raced, desperately grasping for alternatives, for explanations that didn't exist. But deep down I knew. Every missed call, every secretive smile, every lingering absence. All of it now made sense. A wave of nausea overtook me, a physical manifestation of the betrayal. My home, once a sanctuary, felt suffocating and alien. Part 6. Obsessive reflection. Hours passed in torment. I replayed conversations, retraced movements, analyzed every detail with obsessive scrutiny. The casual touches, the warm laughter, the way she leaned into me in bed. Was it genuine? Had I ever truly known her? Each memory now carried a shadow, a question mark. My chest ached. My mind was a relentless storm, circling around the undeniable truth. My life, as I had known it, was a lie. So part 7, the confrontation. I waited until she came home, heart pounding, palms slick with sweat. I showed her the messages, my voice shaking with a mixture of rage and fear. The silence that followed was suffocating. Her eyes widened, darted away, and she stammered. She confessed, offering excuses and apologies. Words like, "It was a mistake. I felt lonely. I didn't mean to hurt you," but they sounded hollow. Hollow enough to echo against the walls of my shattered trust. I wanted to scream, to hit, to break something, anything, but I only felt a deep, hollow ache inside me. Part 8, anger. The anger was immediate, all-consuming. My chest burned, my hands trembled, and the world seemed sharp-edged, cruel. How could she? How could the woman I had loved with my whole being betray me in this way? I wanted her to feel the same pain, but even that thought seemed futile. I sank onto the kitchen floor, shaking, the taste of bile rising, staring at the ceiling, willing answers to come, but none arrived. Part 9, heartbreak. After the storm of anger came a deeper, quieter pain. The hollow ache of betrayal settled into my bones. I remembered our trips, our quiet Sundays, the mornings when we woke tangled in each other's arms. Were those moments real? Did they ever mean anything? The grief was relentless, and I found myself crying in silence, a man stripped bare of certainty, of love, of safety. Part 10, physical manifestations. Sleep was impossible. My stomach revolted, appetite gone. Even her presence, once comforting, became unbearable. Every breath was laborious, every heartbeat a reminder of my humiliation and loss. My body mirrored my mind, tense, reactive, exhausted. The betrayal wasn't just emotional. It had seeped into my muscles, my nerves, my very existence. Part 11, reflection. I began to see the reality. Love is fragile. Trust is not permanent. It must be earned every day. I scrutinized my own blindness, my unwillingness to notice, to ask, to confront. Had my inattentiveness contributed to this? Could I have prevented it? Questions haunted me, spinning endlessly, a carousel of what-ifs and if-onlys. There's part 12, decision time. I realized I had choices, walk away or try to rebuild. The idea of starting over terrified me, yet staying felt like slow, painful suffocation. I weighed years of shared history against the raw wound of betrayal. I loved her, but could love survive this? Could I survive it? Part 13, attempt at reconciliation. I chose dialogue, painful yet necessary. We spoke for hours, set boundaries, exposed our vulnerabilities. She apologized, promising transparency. I listened, wary but willing. Forgiveness was not instant. It would be painstaking, a gradual process of rebuilding. I knew some scars might never fade, but I wanted to see if healing was possible. Part 14, healing weeks became months. Pain coexisted with tentative hope. I focused on myself, therapy, exercise, quiet reflection. I still loved her, but I no longer depended on her to define my happiness. The betrayal had left a wound, yes, but also a strange strength, resilience, clarity, a newfound respect for my own emotional needs. Part 15, lessons learned. Love is beautiful, but fragile. Ignoring subtle signs can have devastating consequences. Trust is earned every day, not assumed. Pay attention, communicate, value yourself. To anyone facing betrayal, I say, confront the truth, no matter how painful. Learn from it. And remember, even in heartbreak, there is a lesson, one that can make you stronger, wiser, and more alive.